Well, his lad trained at the... When Rick was a couple of days out from fighting Costa Petru...
Costa Zoo, yeah.
Costa Zoo. He rang us up, Barry, about opening the gym for his lads to train. That's how kind of dedicated his lads was. Barry was over here, obviously, commentating on the fight, and, you know, he needed somewhere for the boys to train, so, you know, the gym was open up for him.
Two good boxers, actually, his two boys, you know. They
very good.
They haven't brought it on further, but hopefully one of them might get it back into the game, especially with Barry promoting.
Well, it seems though like they've got this big thing going where they're all going to be coaches and stuff like that. It must be great for him.
The thing is, boxing, especially in the business, it's hard to trust people, isn't it? If you've got your family, you know, who can you trust more than your family?
Exactly.
Like I said, he had his father and his brother, and now he's got his sons. You know, it's
just you look at what Barry just said about trusting people. You know, he takes Carl Frampton to box his kid, and the kid comes in 6 pound overweight. You're in a funny position as a trainer, and obviously as a manager and that. You're in the right position because your boxer's there. It's not a title fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so your boxer's there. He sold a load of tickets. A kid comes in 6 pound overweight. What do you do? You can say to him, skip some of that off. But they can go, I'm not skipping anything off. It's not a title fight. So then you're left with this. Are you going to take the fight or not take the fight? You've got your lad there, he's ready. You've got all his fans there, come from Ireland or wherever to watch him. What do you say? No. It might be same day weigh-in, maybe 5 o'clock. The fight's on, you're on at 9 o'clock. You're never going to get an opponent. What do you tell him to go home? So that's your trusting the other boxer's coach to bring his lad in. Some of them don't. You just don't. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, these lads that come from wherever they're coming from, this foreigner, he's eating on the plane. What's he going to do? Starve himself till he gets to England? I don't think so. It's not going to happen. You're trusting him. Now, obviously it never happened, but say Frampton had got beat because of the extra weight, who's at fault? The trainer,
of course.
for allowing the fight to go on. So you're in a right situation, you know what I mean?
Right in the middle. Okay, just moving on, lads. We'll go through some of the results over the weekend. Before I do that, you okay, Bob?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Before I do that, the nickname game, which boxer was known as the Executioner? And the last two clues for the Who Am I? I was born on February 4th, 1973 in Montebello, California. I won a gold medal at 1992 Barcelona Olympic Games. I defeated 17 world champions and won 10 world titles in 6 different weight classes. I am now a promoter, and the last clue, I am known as the Golden Boy. So if you know any of them, they're just for fun. Info at maineventboxingshow.co.uk. You can get yourself in the hat for 2 tickets to the prize fighter on the 23rd of March. Like I say, it's got the likes of Sony Quigley, Adrian Dodson, Robin Reid. You want to enter yourself in the competition to win 2 tickets? All you got to do is tell me who of these boxers has Robin Reid faced in his career. A. Joe Louis, B. Joe Calzaghe, C. Joe Bugno. Right, we're going to go through some boxing results over the weekend. Friday, 11th of March, Michael Grant, he beat Ty Fields. That was a KO in the 3rd round. That was a heavyweight bout. On Saturday night, did anyone see Miguel Cotto, Ricardo Mayorga? I didn't see any boxing me this weekend. I've been ill.
No, you're not on your own because obviously we was at the Velodrome on Saturday night, and then yesterday I was at the board meeting in the morning. Then I had to do a family thing and go to a christening, and then so I've got everything taped apart from that because it was on the internet, wasn't it?
I was flicking at the time because Andy Lee was coming from Foxwood, and that was on, and Mayorga was Mayorga as always. You know, he's unorthodox. It's definitely a way to put it. But he's
out there on his own.
He's out there on his own anyway. Maybe with Gomez and Johnny Tapia, and he looked like he hurt his hand, and he was getting caught with some solid punches. Cotto looked really good in there, and he didn't buy into any of the nonsense that was being fed to him by Mayorga. You know, he's an experienced professional, and he got caught with a couple of shots, but he sort of went down holding his hand out as if he broke his hand. But it didn't look like he had landed a shot at that time, so you don't know.
Who knows an excuse, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he won. Cotto won anyway. TKO in the 12th round. That was a WBA super light middleweight title fight. Also on the night, Miguel Vasquez, he beat Leo Zapavinho. That was a unanimous decision IBF lightweight title fight. Sergio Martinez, he beat in Zurich. That was a TKO in the 8th round. That was a WBC diamond light middleweight title fight. Like I said, I've not seen any of these fights. I've been zonked out as well.
Most people didn't think that
masterclass
that Martinez would be able to put in Zurich down and that it'd go to points. He put him down with such ease. He picked him apart like a Chinese guy in university doing a Rubik's Cube. He had it done. You know, in 5 minutes. He had him pulled apart, and It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
And every middleweight in the world, they want to either lose some weight or put on some weight, get out of that middleweight division. He'd smash every one of them up.
Yeah, he's top dog at the minute. And going as well, we just mentioned it a little bit before. Andy Lee beat Craig McEwen.
Andy Lee, he wants to get the Mars Bears out as well and get out of that division, because it was a horrible performance.
Yeah,
two very closely matched guys, Craig McEwen from Scotland and Andy Lee from billed as the Celtic War. Yeah. And between the two of them, actually, they sold most of the tickets in the venue. Andy Lee came out great first round, but then he went missing. He looked limited, he looked stiff, he looked upright, he was getting smashed around the place.
Yeah.
And Craig McEwen is a relatively feather-fisted fighter, and if there was anyone in there, if John Duddy, I was supposed to be John Duddy in there that day. If John Duddy was on form and in shape and he'd gone into that fight, he would have knocked Andy Lee out on that performance. But he pulled it round, fair play to him, he dug it out real hard. And a lot of people questioned his stamina, but he didn't show any stamina problems towards the end of that fight. It was a 10-rounder. He put Craig McEwen, he was behind on the cards, put McEwen down in the ninth with a massive left hand. He didn't need the knockout, but he definitely needed to put him down in the final round, and he stopped him with an absolute peach. It took Craig McEwen a couple of minutes to get up off the canvas, but there was an awful lot of positives to take out of that fight, the win being the main one, but there's a lot of negatives as well, and it's back to the drawing board for him.
It's surprising that, because we have Manny Stewart as well, so you wouldn't really expect that from that camp. But anyway, that was he finished it with a 10th round KO on it in the 10th round, obviously. We're going to have to skip through these because we're running out of time. Ricky Burns as well on Saturday night, he beat Joseph Larrea. I think it was expected. Also as well, Hughes was down at the Velodrome. Kieran Farrell, he was in action.
Kieran boxed, and it was another, Steve, like Barry said, you're putting these shows on, and he's losing money, they're not, it's tough, but Steve's made a decision that he's going to bring fighters through, and he's grafting these shows, and he's really, really trying, and through one thing and another, we're not getting the ticket sales that we need, what I mean? But, he's still doggedly banging away at them, putting the fights on, Kieran was last on, so I was in the dressing room with Kieran for most of the fights.
Right, fair enough. How did Kieran perform though? Was you happy with how it went?
It was probably his best performance
to date, right?
It's his first 6-3s, and he was really taking his time. His defence was great, he was really, really looking great, what I mean? Really took his time, and that he's got something about him, this Kieran Farrell, what I mean?
Yeah, he has,
Frank Hopkins is, one of the greatest cutsmen there is, and he said to Kieran at the end of the 50s, he said, Kieran, you just keep doing what you're doing, and you listen to Bobby. And Kieran said to him, listen, Frank, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to sack you and get somebody else. In between the rounds, it's just unbelievable, you know what I mean? He's fighting this Abra Riaz, a real tough kid who was having a right go with him, you know what I mean? And he ended up getting warned, Kieran, for a low blow off Steve Gray, and he kind of looked at Steve to say, what are you talking about? That wasn't me, you know what I mean? It was really, really a real good performance, and I'm dead proud of the kid, you know what I mean? He's a dream to train, Kieran, you know what I mean? He just knuckles down and he gets it done.
He lives, sleeps and eats boxing.
He lives, sleeps and eats boxing, and he's so knowledgeable.
He loves it,
he'd give Leonard a run for his money with the knowledge, you know what I mean? And we was kind of taken over on Saturday night by the Irish firm. At one point everybody had the green t-shirts. So it was great, you know what I mean? I mean, Kieran's going to get noticed over there now in Ireland and stuff like that. So
just needs that 8-rounder, and
I've got some news to tell you. Kieran's probably going to be boxing for some kind of a small title next time out, so he's ready for that now. The kid's
what's that now? Is it 10-0 now?
Yeah, 9-0 now, Kieran, and he's ready to go now. He's just been craving these long fights, and the short ones, it's all crash bang wallop with him, and then you get this long one. He's 60. He took his time, picked his shots, worked lovely to the body. Everything,
angles, but his angles, his work rate is phenomenal.
Everything we've been working on, he did, and he tried, and I was so pleased. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying going for the knockout. He was doing everything correct, and I was like over the moon.
Sweet.
And I've had some real good news. You know what I mean? Obviously, we've got the Johnny K's at weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
With Liam Walsh, and John's ready as he'll ever be for that now, and we're all ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's worked really hard. He's trained really hard, and he knows he's got a very, very tough job in front of him. But I know John's going to give 110%. I think John can win this fight now.
Of course,
we've got the tactics right, which I'm not going to say, and then we've just found out now that Brian Rose is boxing on May the 13th on the Sam Webb Prince Aaron undercard. He's going to defend his English title against Martin Welsh, who's 9-0, and that's also going to be an eliminator for the British title. So things are looking good, and I've got a kid boxing on a debutant called David Price, but he's not the David Price. He's a big kid. He's going to change his name to DT Price. He's 13 stone, this kid. He's only 19 years of age.
Right.
He's a bit of a big monster, a bit heavy-handed kid, so he's making his debut. So from a travelling background, so you know, it's going to be a good night on Saturday night. You know, it's very exciting, and got a bit of a stressful week coming up. Like, you know what I mean? Because
get used to him, mate.
I've had him on the phone already this morning. Kieran wants to know when he can come back in the gym. So you know, he's like having a tiger by the tail with him, isn't it? And Brian's back in the gym, full training now. So everything's getting going again, and I'm dead pleased. You know,
good. All systems go. Yeah. Excellent. I don't know if we're going to. Well, we're not going to have time to speak to Paul McCloskey today, unfortunately. We'll just go through some of the fixtures that are coming up then for this weekend. As we just talked there, we've got Liam Walsh and John Case meeting for the Commonwealth Super Featherweight title.
Yeah, that's at Wigan. Yeah, it's live on Sky, promoted by Frank Warren in conjunction with Steve Woods.
Yeah, people want to get down, they can still get in contact.
Still get in contact with you, Barks, on there, and they can get in touch with obviously Sky and obviously with Steve Woods at VIP Promotions, or through Jamie Moore, you know, the silent partner, and very silent he is as well, by the way. You know, so you know, there's that angle if you want to get down, and it's a good show. What's on is they've put a good show together, you know. So
excellent. We've also got we spoke as well.
Of course, you got Willie Casey in the City West Arena. Still tickets for that. It's a bumper card. What people have maybe overlooked a little bit is that Anthony Fitzgerald is a Dublin middleweight. He's taken on Afif Belgasham, who gave Darren Barker all he could handle in a European title fight, and many people thought he won that. And some people have criticised the fights that Anthony Fitzgerald has taken on over the last year, but this is just he's looking to put one in the eye for all those guys, and he's taken off Afif Belgasham for the EBA European title. It's a side European title, but it's unbelievable that he's taken that on. It's a big test for him. On the undercard, that is a massive grudge fight. Michael Sweeney versus Ian Timms. The two of them will be going at. It was supposed to fight before. I think it's potentially the third time, but it's finally happening. And they've been going at each other on Facebook. It's been comedy gold. Michael Sweeney's called the Storm, and Timms refers to him as light breeze. You know, it's comedy. So, and there's a big undercard on that one as well.
It's going to be a great card. Out and watch that. Yeah, you've got Mark Efron as well on the card as well.
Definitely Mark, the local fighter, Joe Gallagher, trained. You know, he's got ties in with Cork's Gary Hyde. He's got a lot of big fighters coming through, and he only works with the best. And Mark Efron looks like he could be one of the best. He's so strong, such a young fella, and his brother Ronnie as well. Quality boxers.
Yeah, I mean that Riggin dude, he's with Gary Hyde, isn't he, as well?
Riggin, though, that's the reason he's here. He probably wouldn't. Casey wouldn't have got this shot. Probably, you know, he's just 2 years ago, a year ago, no one ever even heard of him. He had only 3 fights. He goes over to Canada and knocks out Canadian champion who was 10-0. He was brought over cannon fodder. Wayne McCullough dropped out of prize fighter. Willie Casey took it at a week notice. He went in there, bashed them all up, he stole everyone's hearts in there. He was just he's such a warm character. Then he took a European title against Kiko Martinez. Martinez pulled out of that for whatever reason, and he bashed up Paulie Hyland, a very classy boxer, and many people tipped him to win that. And he's been on all the Jonathan Ross's shows in Ireland. You know, they've got the Saturday night shows. He's on it. He's on the couch. They have him on there, and he wows the crowds. They get the biggest.
Got it about him.
He just got it about him, and that's what boxing needs over here as well. You know, people need to be able to buy into that character. So good luck to Willie Casey. I really can't see him doing it, but he's
going to be a tough fight.
He's shocked everyone before in every fight he's had, and let's hope he does it again. It'd be great for him.
Definitely.
Great for Dahlfeld boxing too.
And just lastly now, Vitaly Klitschko as well. He meets Solis for the WBC heavyweight title, and Michael Sprott as well is also on that bill. That's out in Germany. We're going to have to cut it there, lads. We're going to have to call it a day. Leonard, I'd like to thank you for coming down. It's been great.
In.
You know, hopefully we'll have you again in the future.
Problem. Anytime.
Excellent. Like I say, last minute details if anyone wants to get in contact with you.
Yeah, it's boxing-ireland.com, or you can email me at editor@boxing-ireland.com.
Great. OK, I'm going to give the answers out for the nickname game. The Executioner,
Bernard,
and the mystery boxer today, Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, definitely. So they were just for fun.
Told me them, I didn't know.
They were just for fun. But like I say, for the podcast listeners as well, if you want to get yourself in the hat for 2 tickets down to the prize fighter on Wednesday, March 23rd, a week this Wednesday, which of the boxers has Robin Reid faced in his career? It's A, Joe Louis, B, Joe Calzaghe, or C, Joe Bugno. info@maineventboxingshow.co.uk, and I'll get back in touch on Friday and let you know who's won, and announce it on the show next week. Make sure you join us for next week's show. Joe Gallagher's back, and amongst our guests we've got Matchroom's Eddie Earn, so that should be a belting show. This has been a Main Event. Make sure you check out the website www.maineventboxingshow.co.uk, and make sure you download the podcast.